my name is Daniela and welcome. Today we're going to be watching the Outlander series, the first episode. I have just recently finished the first Outlander book, which the first season is set in. So I decided hey, I love this book, went and watched the series. And I watched a minute, not even that, and I was like, oh, I know this is gonna make me really, really mad. So why not make a video out of it? I just by looking at the poster, I'm gonna put it up here somewhere. I was like, Jamie does not look like that. Jamie does not look like that. Nope. He looks blonde in the poster, but I saw some other images and he does look like red haired. But I wanted him a deep red hair, very, very red, basically. The reddest of reds. Because in the book they describe him as a fiery red, and as a sun, it's hard to hide him because his hair attracts the sun, and yeah. Also, I imagine him as this burly guy. I mean, he does live in the old Scotland, so yeah. Also, I should probably tell you if you don't know what the story is about. But if you don't know what the story is about while you're watching this, because there are going to be a lot of spoilers, so either you already read the book or you don't care about spoiling yourself. But if you didn't know, the book is about Claire. She lives in the era just after World War II, 6 months after World War II. She goes on a vacation with her husband to Scotland, where she is then transported to the old Scotland, 1718 something. I know that's 100-year difference, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. That's why I say ye old Scotland. I am terrible with dates, so. But yeah, and we are following Claire through ye old Scotland. And again, I was like, oh, let me watch this. Saw 5 minutes and I was like, gotta get this reaction. Okay, so it is on Netflix, but I don't think that it's originally a Netflix series. I think it's from somewhere else, but Netflix just bought it. Okay, so let's watch, shall we?
And how at that moment I wanted nothing so much in all the world as to have a vase of my very own.
Okay, so here's the reason why I actually stopped watching, and I knew that I would be very angry watching this, and it's because of Claire's hair. Have no problem with the actress though. Looking at the photos, she is very thin, at least she seems thin from the photos I've seen, and I mentioned Claire a little bit more plumper, not that, a little curvier, but the hair. Claire is supposed to have crazy, frizzy, curly hair. This young lady, old lady, has the perfect Hollywood hairstyle. And it really threw me off if she was supposed to have, because in the beginning of the book, one of the women comments on her hair saying that she should try this new method of this new perm method to get nice curls, and she's like, oh, I'll definitely try this new method. And then she's like, oh, if only she knew that these were my natural curls, they not a bad perm. So, and this lady definitely doesn't have that type of hairstyle. Let us continue.
That's to cut the femoral artery before he bleeds out.
Would someone be awake for this? Because I would think that you would faint from shock, having one, so much blood loss, and two, an open wound where you see someone digging in it. So I don't know how realistic that is, but maybe he's just pumped up on adrenaline. I don't know, but I'm not a doctor.
I sometimes wonder what would have happened if I'd bought that vase and made a home for it.
No, she bought that vase. She bought it. No.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I?
Digging the intro.
Mary of
We were in Scotland on our second honeymoon. Or at least that's what Frank...
So that's Frank. It's also Prince Philip from The Crown, second season. Third? The season when he's older. I imagine Frank skinnier, with like curly afro-ish kind of hair, like curls, crazy curls with shorter sides, but like all like curly, and like a little bit a tinge of red, like a brownish red. Not this. Like, this is a whole lot of man. Expected a more dainty fellow, especially since he's an historian.
Where's that is?
Huh? Oh, good Lord. Blood.
You sure?
Think I should know the look of blood by now.
The stain just like it on the house next door.
There's two more over there.
Okay, again, this scene, totally different in the book. And why I say this is because the reaction of Claire is also different, making her kind of slightly a different person. Because I wouldn't mind if the blood was like differently placed or in a different part of the series. The way she reacts is also different, and it's making her a different character. In the book, Claire reacted when they were already in town and they were returning from a trip, and the blood was on the steps. Claire freaked out that maybe there's a killer or something, maybe something happened, and then they saw that there was blood on multiple doorsteps, and she was like kind of uneasy, freaking out about it. And then Frank basically says that he thinks he knows what's going on, and that probably it's a ritual sacrifice, and that everybody's down at the pub now, which he was right. But the reason I'm saying this is because in the book, Claire was uneasy, scared, cautious. Here in the series, she's laughing it off, brushing it off. It doesn't match the reaction. If she was like, oh my god, what is that? That's so weird. Why? She was like kind of like looking at it weirdly. Maybe she didn't have to like completely freak out, but still, like a kind of different reaction I would have liked.
Perhaps Pharaoh has refused Moses, and the spirit of death will travel the streets of Inverness tonight, sparing only those who mark their doors with lamb's blood.
She's again being a smart ass, which the book Claire wasn't. She didn't believe in like all the mystic stuff, but she didn't disrespect anybody who like believed it.
Samhain became Halloween, Yule became Christmas, so on.
Well, you're both welcome at the festival, of course. Mind you, ghosts are freed on the feast days, and they'll be wandering about free.
I don't believe it was Halloween in the time in the book when they went there. No, I didn't think it was.
Beats an army tent and a cot in the mud.
Indeed.
It's a much nicer room than I imagined them having. Because in the book, when the storm came, it almost felt like the author at least made it seem like the fucking room was gonna collapse. So like seeing this, it looks like a normal sturdy room.
Right. Ridiculous. What I do? I'm gonna break this up.
I hope they took their fucking shoes off. Also, for some reason, Claire's 27, I believe. At the end of the book, she's 27. And Or is she? Anyway, I know she's like in her late 20s. But I imagine them younger looking, especially since when she goes back to the old times, everybody's kind of like, you look so much younger than you actually are. And in here, she does look like she's in her late 20s. And especially like Frank looks fucking old. I expect him like a youngish fellow, so I don't know. They didn't take their shoes off. Now I'm so mad. Barbarians. You know, for as much as the book they described very in detail of Claire's and Jamie's sexual encounters, they never described how the sex was with Frank, which is interesting. Maybe they didn't want to go with smut right off the top. What they did show us or tell us was very like vanilla and gentle and just like skimming. So yeah, that's interesting now that I think back on it. So then by the end of the book, we feel that Claire had a much like deeper physical attraction to Jamie than she did with Frank. At least that's how I felt.
So, from what I can gather, Castle Lear was the ancestral home of...
Castle Lear. Did they mention that in the book? I know they went somewhere, but I don't think they mentioned Castle Lear of the Lord Mackenzies. Oh, did they mention that? No, I'm not totally sure, but it's pretty cool. Like reading the book and seeing this in play is something that I don't get often because I don't usually read books first and then watch movies. Usually it's like I found out that there's something that I watched which is based on a book, so I pick up the book and the book is usually better. So I'm pretty excited. I don't know why I'm excited. So stupid.
Yeah.
Are there just ruins in Scotland lying around? Usually in my country, when there's like a castle ruin, it's like a tourist attraction. Or usually our castles are a lot more maintained. I don't know how Scotland was. Plus, not everyone fucking lived in a castle. I feel like Scotland, like every other family lived in a castle. So maybe it's not such a like rarity. I don't, now that I'm like watching this, I don't think they were anywhere near Castle Lear. I know they went like on a tour guide-y thing, so maybe they just like went over it because I know there was like a story or something. Remembering is hard. But they definitely didn't go like on an excavational field trip through a castle. Definitely not through Castle Lear.
You can give me a bath.
Oh, they really got a fucking dungeon in the old abandoned castle. Okay then. Well, I guess her sex life with Frank wasn't as boring as I thought.
Why, Mrs. Randall, I do believe you left your undergarments at home.
Yep, definitely not boring.
The marriage line's divided, means 2 marriages.
I wonder if it really works like this. I'm a little bit interested in like paganistic witchy things, but I never really dived into it because I'm not like that interested. If I ever had a religion, it would probably be something like that. But I would love to get my like palms read from an actual person that seems to know what they're doing, or like my future tarot or something. And I did love this scene in the book. It's very much the same, and it's good. I love the foreshadowing, though I did know that she would travel to the old Scotland and marry someone there. Though I thought it would be Jack. In the book they did describe the ghost. Now that I think about it, I think it may be Jamie. Maybe Randall. But Jamie, probably Jamie. I don't know why she's brushing those curls, because they're like perfectly fluffy and curly, and I don't know why she's so mad. Besides, with that brush, what she expecting to brush? It's a horse brush.
Are you asking me if I've been unfaithful?
I don't know why she's being so pissy about it, if I have to put it that way. I mean, because he isn't like blaming her for something. He's just like, oh well, you know, we've been apart. If you had like a tryst or something, you know, and she should be like, no, I didn't. I stay faithful. But if he then like kept pressing, but you know, if you had, I would totally accept. I would look at him like, bitch, I just told you I've been faithful. But she's like right off the bat getting so pissy about it. So yeah, that's on me. Wow, okay. Did not expect straight up nudity in this film. Can I show that? I don't think I can show that. Whoa.
Sex was our bridge back to one another.
Yep.
The one place where we always met.
Uh-huh.
Whatever obstacles presented themselves during the day or night, we could seek out and find each other again in bed.
Yeah, okay, straight up.
As long as we had that, I had faith everything would work out.
Like that, explicit sex scenes. Okay, yeah, they definitely didn't have a boring sex life. Yep, no. Okay, gonna have to blurt that out.
I want to see the witches.
Must I ask?
Apparently, there's a circle of standing stones on a hill just outside the village, and there's a local group who still observe rituals there. Well, they're not actually witches. There's a lot of meant to be druids.
So in the book, she was actually the one who first like found the place. Like a man brought her there, like a villager brought her there to look at flowers because she was interested in botany, and then she brought Frank there because she knew that he would like it. And then later they returned to see the witches. Witches do witchy things, which this is different. Don't mind it. We'll see. This seems much more spiritual, ritualistic than what was described in the book. Like the ritual itself was like very proper. But when they came, they were like dressed normally and having bed sheets, and they changed. So it kind of felt like the everyday woman being a witch. You know, this feels more magical in a sense. Don't tell me that's how she's gonna go to the dresses. I at least expect her to have like the dress she had on before, not this kind of dress. Oh no. What if the flower or somehow a catalyst to being sent back? That's more of what I expected her hair to look like. That looks pretty crazy. She should probably take her shawl with her. Is she wearing a bike diva? Jesus.
Perhaps I had stumbled onto the set of a cinema company filming a costume drama of some sort.
Running around in white dress. So they got the same actor to play him. I didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna be a different actor. Yeah, interesting.
Hank? What the devil are you doing?
Oh, God, no, God.
Who the bloody hell are you?
I didn't know he was gonna be playing Jack Randall.
I'm Jonathan Randall, Esquire.
I wanted it to be a dream, but I knew it wasn't.
That wasn't in the book. Was it? Did he bonk her? What the heck? I don't think
If
so.
nothing else.
Okay.
Hold him steady.
Ooh, look at it arm. I mean,
This
it's
is the worst
dislocated,
part.
but ooh.
I need a sling. You, fetch me a long piece of cloth or a belt.
Fetch me, she says. Do you hear that, lads?
Give her your belt.
I'm a nurse. Not a wet nurse.
They were talking about how she herself said she's a nurse, but not a wet nurse. In the book, she did say she was a nurse, and they looked at her like, why does a wet nurse know this? But, whatever. Okay, sure. And she was like, why the fuck a wet nurse? Like, what? She didn't understand. But here, she actually did say she's not a wet nurse. He is taller than her. But he's not, he should be taller. How tall is he? Okay.
Where?
Pardon, keep us both warm, but can you do it one-handed? Can you reach?
Okay, I may have been a little judgmental about the actor playing Jamie Fraser. He looks good, not what I expected, but for now, he's not disappointing. He looks like he's supposed to. I mean, not like he's supposed to, but like he doesn't look out of place. So, okay. We'll see. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see in more daylight what he looks like. I wish to translate it to daylight.
Sure. Sounds like a bell too,
Trotter! Hide yourself! To the car!
No. No. They're not gonna. They're mushing up scenes. And I don't like it. Okay. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Spoke too soon. When I saw the bar, I thought
Lost your way.
it's gonna be a scene after that. But okay, no. Fine, it's fine.
I suppose that means you're coming with me.
It wasn't. Was it? This series is giving me. Is messing up my brain about what the actual book is like.
Just get me some iodine. Methylate?
I didn't even understand this part in the book because she obviously knows now. She has to. She can't be more ignorant now that she's not in the where she was. She's not in modern day, at least for her modern day. So why is she asking for stuff that wasn't even there back then? That confused me even in the book.
Your husband should turn your height. What do you want?
St. Paul says, let a woman be
You
silent.
can mind your own bloody business, and so can St. Paul.
I do appreciate a woman who swears.
He won't give up so easily. He commands the redcoats hereabouts.
You know, the first encounter she had with Randall, he was a little bit more charming. I felt he came off from the book a little bit more charming than he does in the series. Just an observation.
That's about all I can do. The rest is up to you.
I said this as a problem with the book as well in my wrap up or whatever. They don't have a lot of like sexual tension between them. In the scenes they don't have sexual tensions. In the scene where they are getting close, it's more friendly and slightly romantic than anything else. That's why it came as a surprise to me that they had such like wild sex, and Jamie was like, I wanted to fuck you ever since I met you. That was a very different accent than Scottish, but you know what I meant. So even in this scene, I don't know if they're trying to be like, because this is a good builder scene, building their relationship more as friends than as lovers or anything. But I don't know if it was intended as a builder scene or more as a sexual tension scene. That was the first episode of the first season of Outlander, and here are some of my thoughts. I am pleasantly surprised, I must say. Jamie does look like he has some muscle on him. He's not such a dainty fellow, but he has like a bodybuilder physique from what I could like tell from the few scenes, more than a warrior physique, if that makes sense. But I want to see him in like some good lighting to tell. Also, they stayed true to Claire's personality, at least up until now. I was afraid that they would change her somehow from the scene with the blood and the scene with her and Frank when he was accusing her of being unfaithful. She also didn't quite act as she did in the book. Also, very interesting that they picked like the same actor to play both the Randalls. And like I said, he was more like a charming fellow in the book. Like a sleazy kind of charming, like an evil charming. And I'm very interested to see this actor play him because I know him from The Crown. But yeah, we'll definitely be continuing watching the series. And maybe follow me on Twitter if you want to see my reactions to it. Or maybe I can do like a Netflix party and we could all watch it. I know, something fun. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe if you did. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.